Welcome back to Rhythm Guitar Book 3. This book takes a deep dive into movable chord shapes. We're on page 11. We have a couple new power chord exercises. To use these chords, you need to know the names of the notes on strings 5 and 6. If you need help with that, check out lesson 1. You can watch all these videos for free, but it's going to be a lot easier to learn if you have your own copy of Rhythm Guitar 3 that you can read from and write in. Plus, you can help support a music teacher, so I'll leave a link in the description. Top of page 11, we have exercise R16, a movable power chord etude. This one combines strings 5 and 6. The Roman numerals are provided, but you need to figure out if you're supposed to be playing that chord on the 5th string or the 6th string. At the beginning, we have an E flat 5 or E flat power chord marked in the 6th position. So at the 6th fret, the E flat is on the 5th string. And there's your power chord that goes with it. Remember, to get a nice clean power chord, you mute the next string down with your 3rd finger and maybe even with your 1st finger, so you don't have to be too careful with your picking. Then we have an A flat 5. Your A flat is marked at the 4th position. Now at the 4th fret, the A flat is on the 6th string. And there's your power chord. B flat 5 marked in 6th position. So the B flat in 6th position or 6th fret is on the 6th string. And then we have a C5 marked in 8th position. So at the 8th fret, the C is on the 6th string. Then we have an F5 marked in 8th position. So we just got done playing a C in 8th position or 8th fret on the 6th string. So F's got to be on the 5th string. Then E flat 5 in 6th position again, same one we did before. Same B flat 5 or B flat power chord as before. Now we have a G5 or G power chord marked at the 3rd fret or 3rd position. So that's going to be on the 6th string. Play your shape from there. 3rd line, A flat power chord, same as we played before, 4th position. Back to that same G5. Next we have an F5. Earlier we played an F5 or F power chord in 8th position. This one is in 1st position. So that's going to be on the 6th string. Back to that same G5. Beginning of the 4th line, we have a C power chord or C5. Earlier we played our C5 at the 8th fret. This one is marked at the 3rd fret. The 8th fret was 6th string, so 3rd fret has to be the 5th string. C sharp at 4th fret, that's going to be on the 5th string as well. And then a D at the 5th fret, also on the 5th string. And then E flat at the 6th fret, same as we played before, also on the 5th string. So those last few chords from the C5 are just fret by fret. C, C sharp, D, and E flat. Next thing you want to do is cycle through those chords, practice finding them, just play one chord at a time. E flat at the 6th fret, A flat at fret 4, B flat in 6th position, C in 8th position, F also in 8th position, E flat 6th position, B flat 6th position, G 3rd fret or 3rd position, A flat in 4th position, back to the G flat, F again, but now in 1st position, back to that G in 3rd, C in 3rd position, that's at the 5th string, C sharp, D, and E flat. And then play through the exercise at a nice moderate speed. It's marked quarter equals 70 to 100, so I'm going to be on the conservative side of that, play at quarter equals 80. And I'm only going to play quarter notes. You can use any strumming patterns you like, but at the beginning it's a good idea to just keep it simple so you can practice finding your chords. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat, A flat, B flat, C, F, E flat, B flat, G, A flat, G, back to G, C, C sharp, D, and E flat. At the bottom of page 11, we have number R17, another movable power chord exercise with roots on strings 5 and 6. This time there are no Roman numerals. You get to decide where you want to play these chords, and there's really not a right or wrong answer for where to play these chords. It's your preference. What you do want to try to do is move as efficiently as possible. Try to keep your chords close to each other on the fretboard. So before you play the exercise, you want to practice finding your root notes. We begin with a C5, and we can play our root note C at either the 3rd fret on the 5th string or at the 8th fret on the 6th string. Let's say right now we're going to play at the 3rd fret on the 5th string. From there, you want to find a nice close F for your F5. The closest one there is at the 1st fret. And from there, you want to find a fairly close B flat for your B flat 5. That's also at the 1st fret, but just on the 5th string. And then we have an E flat 5, and we really don't have a choice here but to move up the fretboard a bit, because we have an E5 here, also on the 5th string at the 6th fret, or way up at the 11th fret. So I would choose the one at the 6th fret. When I play through the exercise, that's how I'm going to start this one. I'm going to start my C at the 3rd fret on the 5th string, but let's say you wanted to start with the C at the 8th fret on the 6th string. So you would place your root note right there on the C, 8th fret on the 6th string, play your power chord there. You want to find the closest F5, and there's an F5 right there that you could play, or I should say an F root you could play, also at the 8th fret, but on the 5th string. The closest B flat to that is at the 6th fret on the 6th string. And then we have an E flat 5, very close on the 6th string. Same E flat we landed on when we use the other option. As I said, I'm going to use option 1 when I play through this exercise, starting on the 3rd fret, but you can start wherever you want. Let's check out the second line. After you play the E flat 5 or E flat power chord, you want to find the closest A flat for your next root. That's going to be at the 4th fret on the 6th string. Then a nice close D flat to that, also at the 4th fret, but on the 5th string. And then there's a D very close to that D flat. It's just the next fret up, also on the 5th string. Next we have a G power chord, and we have a G that we could play up at the 10th fret, but that's getting a little up there. So I would go to this G at the 3rd fret on the 6th string. Then we have a C power chord again. Just like we did in the first line, we can play it at the 3rd fret on the 5th string. Next we want to find a nice close A. You can find one right there at the 5th fret, string 6. Then a nice close D, also at the 5th fret, on string 5. Then we want to find a close B for our B5. Closest one is on the 6th string at the 7th fret. Last line, we want to find our root note E. We can find that one at the 7th fret on the 5th string. E and F are always next to each other, so if that's your E at the 7th fret, you can play your F at the 8th fret. Back to the B that we played earlier at the 7th fret, and then a C. Now, I began this exercise with a C on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, but this B right here is at the 7th fret. B and C are always next to each other, so the easiest thing to do is slide up one fret, play that C5 at the 8th fret. Before you strum through the exercise, go ahead and play each chord one by one. Just cycle through those chords, practice finding them. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, D, G, C, A, D, B, E, F, B, and and C. And then play through the exercise, as always, at a nice moderate speed. I'm going to do it at quarter equals 80 and keep the strumming nice and simple. Again, I'm just sticking with quarter notes, but you can use any strumming pattern you like. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, D, G, C, A, D, B, E, F, B, and C. Your assignment is to practice the exercises on page 11 and continue quizzing yourself on the notes on strings 5 and 6 if you need to. And don't forget to order your own copy of Rhythm Guitar Book 3. The link is in the description. Take your time with this, and then when you're ready, I'll see you on page 12. We're going to do a summary of the caged system so you understand where all the chords in this book are coming from.